Thank you, everyone, for joining me for another episode of the True Life with Tom show. I am joined by an amazing human being who has been gifted by God in many ways. I'm here with Anagha Deshmukh today, and say hi, and I'm going to read your bio. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you here today. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Tom.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. I was certainly looking forward to this all morning. Uh, Anagha is a leadership and handwriting expert whose work helps organizations accelerate AI adoption while building human-led high-performance cultures. She has 23 years experience in corporate America, trusted by executives, founders, and leaders across 30 countries, and a creator of proprietary trait framework used with C-suite leaders and their teams. So what I wanted to say is, hi, Anagha, tell me a little bit about yourself, and I have some great questions for you.
Wonderful. About myself, what I do today, I will tell you about that first. So, I'm a leadership and handwriting expert. Leadership, because I worked in corporate America for 23 years and I have that experience all the way, traveling across the world, million miles, and also learning from all the leaders around me, working at a very senior level. That's the experience I carry through in my work here. But the other gift I have is handwriting, and it was there since I was born. So I combine the traits identification using handwriting analysis with leadership traits. And that is what I work with. So I work with organizations to help them bring cohesion to teams using the power of handwriting science. And also, some people come to me for hiring as well to get an opinion about the person. Some people call it character meter, but it's really not character. What we can find through handwriting is, what are the strengths of this person that are unique? What are the thinking patterns? Is it an analytical thinker or a process-oriented thinker? Is he a good fit in the role? What is his personality? Is he a connector, or is he a loner, or is he pragmatic? All those things. So I really enjoy what I do.
Yeah, obviously, and one of the
Hmm.
things I did definitely wanted to mention is thank you so much for sending me the video clip from Dr. Joe Vitale. I work with Dr. Joe Vitale from The Secret, 95 books, 30 albums, 15 albums, 30 movies, and he said that you analyzed his handwriting. Tell me about that experience.
Oh, that was mind blowing. I met Dr. Vitale and I asked him, would he be open to doing this? And he said, absolutely. He took it home and I thought he would, I gave him a card and he wrote on that. He took it home, sent me a photo next day, or probably 2, 3 days later. But when I reached home from that trip, I got that card from Dr. Vitale and I was amazed. I was like, wow, this person is so methodical. He is such a great businessman and also in execution. So I was reading everything, found a lot of other traits. What makes him so successful? Why the world loves him? Why he can manifest anything he wants? And I found out through handwriting what that is. And then he came, we had a one-on-one consultation. He came to the session and he was curious to know what is holding him back. He's so successful. He's at the top right there. But what really made me think is he's constantly learning and constantly improving. Even at this age, he wants to know what is holding him back and he wants to improve on that. So that was mind blowing that he's so successful. He's teaching the whole world, but he's still working on his own self as well and finding those opportunities to grow. I'm
Yeah,
very inspired by that experience. Every day since that experience, I try to think of his traits, and they're so unique, and it's an inspiration for me. I always think of, wow, Dr. Joe is like this, and I'm self-aware and building those traits in myself as well because of learning from him.
wow. Yeah, that's amazing, and I really appreciate you sharing that experience. It obviously has lit you up, and one of the things that I love about my daily experiences, I get to share with people all around the world his teachings, He's one of the most authentic, genuine, loving people that I know. You're also very authentic, genuine, and loving as well. So we're definitely
Thank you.
among great company here. I've been on a self-healing awareness, improvement, transformation journey probably since 2012 when I saw The Secret and I saw Dr. Joe Vitale in there and he said, uh, I didn't attract that accident. I didn't attract that bad situation. I didn't attract that difficult relationship. And he got right in the camera and said, I'm here to get it in your face and say, yes, you did. And our thoughts, words, emotions, and actions are so powerful. So tell me a little bit about, how long you've been on your spiritual and awakening journey to really bring your superpowers to the world.
Absolutely. So on my spiritual journey, really, it must have been many lives that it has begun. We are all evolving. But in this human suit, um, my mom has been significant in my life, and I learned everything through example. So, how she led her life, she was very pragmatic, not religious at all, but she was trying to teach us that God is in everyone. She never said, go and reach this, go and get this award, this is the degree you should have. Never. It was all about just one concept that try to see the one in everyone.
Mhm.
We're all one and try to see that, so it made no sense earlier what she was saying because you're little, but you keep hearing it again and again and again. And then I started reading about spirituality. So I was very curious. Does the soul really exist? What are people talking about? Then I grew up in India and they had the Gita there, which talks about the soul never gets destroyed. So I moved to the US in 1999. And even before that, and even when I was here in the US, whenever I had quiet time, I was trying to study really, does the soul exist? If it does, then we are here with a purpose. If we are saying that we are giving this human suit, we are here with a purpose. And all along, I tried to validate that for 25 years that does the soul really exist? So I'm an engineer, right? And engineers have to do experimentation and find out what could go wrong. So, with the same attitude, I was trying to really find out, yeah, I get it. Everyone is talking about it, but I want my own inferences that the soul really exists. So, yes, I did many studies. I went to many experts across the world, traveled a million miles and found out that, okay, yes, this is true. It was hard to accept it, but yes, it is true. Then it became the next part of the journey, which is, well, if you're here for a limited time, then what are you here for? And people kept talking about life purpose, life purpose, life purpose, but it didn't make sense till that moment. Um, and I worked in corporate America all along, and I kept asking myself, is this my life purpose? I've come here, I have some gifts. Is this my life purpose? And there's so many tools to find that out, but my only meter was, is this effortless? Whatever I'm doing, is this effortless? Is it aligned? Do I feel good with it? Is my soul going to benefit from this? And so it was always going in the back of my mind. I kept studying, I kept going to more and more masters, trying to find that science behind it, like what is the life purpose, how it was built in you, the electromagnetic energy, how was it programmed? And then if you're here, come on, time is less. Get moving and achieve what you're here meant to be. So after that 25 years search and real study, and also working in corporate America, at the same time, I had two wonderful children. I learned from them every day. Uh, and all these experiences happened. And I quit my corporate job. I said, this is not it. This is not it. This is not what I'm here for. I'm not here to make profits for any company. I'm not here to make merely money. This is something more I have. So I started studying all my gifts and when do I feel that I'm in the happiest moment? And all along, there were so many signposts, but I was not ready to accept it because it's not like everyone else. I loved handwriting all along. That was my passion. But, handwriting is handwriting. Everybody writes with it. And what's the big deal? But then I started studying that, oh, I lived with my grandfather after I was 6 months old. My mom dropped me to my grandfather because there were a lot of people in the home and she used to go teach during the day. So she wanted someone to take care of me. But even that little incident was so profound. Turns out my grandfather, his handwriting was amazing. And it was displayed on the boards of the British. When the British ruled India, my grandfather was born in 1909, and his papers were displayed on their boards. So he had great handwriting. Now, I went and I stayed with him, and I had such an attachment with him. And then he dropped me back with my parents around when I was 3 or 4 years old. But I had that attachment because, all I know about is him. And that bond was there. So he kept writing letters to me after, I came back to my biological home, not being with him, with my parents. So I had that, I'm missing him, I'm missing him. So to keep up with, back then there were no phone calls, like long distance and all that. So he wrote letters to me. I have the whole stack of letters even now. But through those letters, what I saw was handwriting first. And then he talked about handwriting, as I grow older and older. And all along, it was like about handwriting. Yes, he's teaching me things, but he's also teaching me good character, what it means, etc. Then the signpost was I went to a convent school and they had an excellent program where they taught great handwriting. So whatever my grandfather taught me just, went 10x because of that school. Then fast forward, I went to engineering school because my mom said, "Hey, I would love my child to go to this college next door." I'm not an engineer, honestly. But my mom said, "Go. Okay, whatever mom says is always right. She has experience, go with it." So I went, got enrolled, but still I was never happy. I mean, I was getting grades and, all that good stuff, but it was not like effortless. There was an effort to it. Um, on my fourth year of engineering school, what we do in India is we have a 1 month break before the exams, before the final exams, so you can study. And I used to clean my office for like one whole day, create the environment, and then go to a used paper store and buy big stacks of paper. And I would look at all the question papers of that particular subject from the years before and write it down. I would write down all the answers. I would look at the different textbooks and write down all the answers. So that would give me a lot of peace that, oh, yeah, I got this, because that fear was there that I'm not this mechanical brain. So that was the next signpost. And when I finished my fourth year of engineering, I got a scholarship to come to the US. And it like happened like this, like very, very like in days. Literally, I went to the college, got interviewed. Next day, they called and they said, "You're going to the US to pursue your further education." I took the whole bunch of papers that I had and I gave it to someone. I still don't know who I gave it to, but there were so many notes of so many subjects. So I gave it to someone. And all along, this is my spiritual journey, really. I'm giving you signposts, and I'm thinking about how did these things happen? These were planted in my life. I passed all my engineering exams and had quite good grades because of handwriting. And I came to the US because of handwriting. And then 18 years after, I'm working in corporate America, and 18 years after, someone came to me from our same college. It was a women's engineering college. And she came to me and she said, I saw your notes. I heard they are your notes. They're in the engineering school library and they're in the handwritten form. Like, why didn't you just turn it into, type it out and whoever put it there? She said that was amazing handwriting. So till then, I didn't know that, oh, this is my gift. So these signposts, I started reviewing more and more. And I felt this is the happiest when I write. People give me pens as presents. My uncle gave me his Mont Blanc when I wrote some letter for him. And he just took his Mont Blanc out of his pocket. He said, "This is yours." And so these signposts were coming all along. But then at the same time, your spiritual journey, you're here for a purpose. So then I started putting two and two together, right? Now this is like when I'm 35, 40 years of age, I'm still trying to glue the two pieces and say, this is what my gifts are. And how can I help anyone with this, right? With the my life purpose? How can it be helping people with handwriting? So I went back and I studied everything deeper. my grandfather taught me how to read handwriting, you know. I started studying more and more about handwriting. And then before I knew, I started helping analyzing their handwriting. Then I said, I quit my job and said, let's do this as a profession. And it was so effortless. I had so much passion in that. And whenever I talked to people, they were like, this turned the needle for me. This was life changing. So I got better at it and better at it. And before I knew, I didn't have one single social media page. Okay, not one. I had served 30 countries and it was so effortless. Different people in different countries, they all had the same problems. They all had the same things that made them successful. And my spiritual journey really, I don't know how to answer this, whether it started when I was little or whether it started the moment I combined my life purpose to serve others with what my gifts were. It took
Hmm.
me a long time. But my assumption is people who really know their gifts and they use their gifts when they're young and they know about this concept, are a lot more successful when they're younger in their lives. So alignment of really finding out what your gifts are and finding out your life purpose is what makes you unstoppable. And that's where you're spiritually aligned and you start providing value to the world. And it's not for business, you should go into that, you should go into that for true service, like true service. And I started helping people and genuinely thinking about them. What can I do to make their lives better? What can I do to help them understand their life purpose? How can I get them aligned like I got aligned? And the more genuinely I did it, you know how you were talking about Dr. Joe, he said you attracted this. So the more aligned I got, I think I attracted a lot of synchronicity in my life, attracted the right people. And, I worked with so many Oscar nominees this year. I met Dr. Joe Vitale, I always wanted to meet him. Jack Canfield, author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, he really propelled me forward. When I got aligned and I met him for the first time, he encouraged me, do this, do this, do this. And it just blew out of proportion from there. It got so busy that I didn't have time to do anything else. And I help people with their health issues. I help people with hiring great people. I help people with their leadership teams. Uh, and it just all became effortless. So that is my spiritual journey. I used to study too much and make it overcomplicated, but it was just one concept in the end that your true life purpose is really somewhere about serving people. We all have that. When we serve people, that's the highest, that's the highest happiness. And you use your gifts to do that. You're given, your human suit is given that gift to be able to fulfill your life purpose. So that's in short, or in a long way, my spiritual journey. But I enjoy living in this synchronicity every day. Every day, there are new opportunities that just come up before I even wished for it, before they were even planted in my head. They show up. Like the other day, we got a contract for 250,000 students. I had never thought about going into that segment, but I did have a thought that if I'm helping people later in their lives, why not help at the root? Like you're going and you're trying to fix the problem later, just try to build them at the root. And that's all the thought was. And literally in a week, this is what showed up. And I'm not a magician. I'm not, at that level of Dr. Vitale where I can manifest anything in minutes. But I will tell you, and I want to give the message to everyone that this is the one key that really propels you forward, and don't waste a single minute not living your life purpose.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. And one of the things that I've marveled in our conversations is that you come with this excitement and joy and gratitude in every area of your life. And one of the things that I've really learned, especially in a number of the things that have happened in my spiritual awakening, is I've learned to be grateful for everything because problems are blessings. And I heard that yesterday, and I've heard it said in different ways, right? But it really, really hit me. So, so when you kind of transitioned away from engineering and really just being more in line with your purpose, Um, what do you think in this journey? Was there a time where you just knew handwriting was it and you started? When did you really implement that in your daily life, your superpower?
Uh, it there's no like moment where I can draw a line. I think it was gradually happening, but success came when I reflected and I said, "Whoa, we've already served so many countries with so less manpower on our team. We've reached 30 countries with no social media." And I used to go to all these marketing trainings, and they would say, "You need to have a page, you need to have this, you need to have this." And I used to think, well, I'm so behind on things. Then I reflected, wait a minute, I'm not behind. I'm already there. Like, oh, that's what people are trying to achieve, the reach. But we already have it. So then I realized, wait a minute, this is something bigger. It's something unique. Why is it not following the rules of the road? It's something unique. And then I started just putting my all into it. I started learning more. I started helping more people in different areas of life. That's where I realized, when you're going not where the masses are going, and you're still like, yes, I'm doing the right things. You're not
Mhm.
influenced and you're not questioning yourself. That's when you feel like, yes, this is it. This is what it is. And then it became a profession for me.
Wow. Well, what I want everyone to know that's listening is not only is Anagha a beautiful bright light in this universe, she's incredibly gifted, she's incredibly talented. All of her information to get in touch with her will be available in the description. And then just really quickly, if you all want to jot this information down, my screen is coming up now. So this is my friend Anagha uh, Deshmukh, and if you want to get in touch with her, her website is right here, and this information will also be in the description. I just wanted to say, Anagha, thank you so much for this time, this energy exchange. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. I feel that you have already affected my energy and my journey in such a profound way. So when I interact with you, my light gets bigger, my purpose gets more defined, and I get to have these amazing conversations with people all over the world. So we got started, I guess, about 30 minutes ago. But I will tell you, there's no doubt every time we get together, I leave as a better human being, and I know that we both do. And that's part of the joy of exchanging energy and conversation. Is there anything else that you wanted to share, Anagha, before we let you?
Yes, I do want to share something.
Okay.
So, handwriting can tell over 150 or even 200 traits about a person. And when I read your handwriting, Tom, I want to share with people about you, what is innate in you. One of the things is you're a true teacher. Teaching is one of your innate strengths. It's effortless for you. And I read that in your handwriting and I realized, wow, Tom is so good at what he does because this is his innate strength. The other thing was you're a connector. You're a genuine connector, and you love people, and people really, you get all these compliments from people that, Tom, we love your voice. Tom, we love your healing powers. But you're really meant to do that. You can connect with them, and you have empathy, but you can also get in their shoes and understand what they're going through. So I saw that in your writing as well. And then one most unique part about you that I would like to share with everyone watching is that you have one of the traits that only 2% of the people have, and that is self-esteem. Okay, high self-esteem. I've worked with people who are billionaires, but they still don't show high self-esteem in their writing. And it is not because they don't have confidence. So high self-esteem, self-esteem is really a product of two things. One is self-confidence and the other is self-love. And self-love doesn't mean going to the spa and getting a massage and all that. Self-love means acknowledging that, yes, I am worth it, right? If people give you 10 compliments, you can still take it. Instead of by the 10th compliment, you're not like cringing, like, no, please, I can't hear about myself. Please don't. So in your case, you have both. You have self-confidence as well as great self-love. And it's not selfish, it's something that everyone should have. Without that, they cannot bring the power to the world. They cannot contribute to the world because then they're stuck. They don't believe in themselves. So, those are the three things I want to share with people about you. And I know we have to have our in-depth session, Tom, but this is what I saw, and I felt like it's so profound. That's what makes you so unique. That's why you can heal so many people because you truly, truly can connect with them. And teaching is effortless for you. I had to build it within myself. I still am not a coach or anything. I cannot teach people. And it's not one of my innate strengths. I can connect with people and tell them where they are, what's holding them back, what's making them successful. But you have something very different. It is a natural art of teaching.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for your analysis and I definitely resonate and receive everything that you've shared. I did want to share this and reflect this one thing back to you. It's kind of very powerful and some people it'll resonate with them. Some people are maybe it will or it won't. About 14 years ago, my wife woke up in the morning and she said, "Tom, you should call yourself the people conductor." And I said, like an orchestra? And she said, no, like a train. You're the guy who puts people on your train and you help them get to where they're going. And so my personal email address is peopleconductor@gmail.com. But anyway, when you said connector, when I talk to people, the first thing I think when they say they want or need or lack something is, oh, I know someone. You need to talk to Anagha. You need to talk to Dr. Joe Vitale. You need to talk to Jack Canfield. You need to talk to my friend Doug Bench, the brain training guy. You need to talk to one of the influencers I was with yesterday, Dina Page, who does guided meditation. So that's what I'm always thinking. And so I do come from a place of love and service and gratitude and joy and teaching. And so everything that you said certainly resonated with me. I'm so grateful for your super talents and gifts. Um,
Thank you, Tom. And you're blessed that you have the courage to even follow your calling because of the high self-esteem you have. And I want to tell everyone watching one thing for them to take away from this thing about self-esteem is that when you really find out your gifts, track back. They're not the gifts that typically people, just, oh, you're a great orator. No, there's more than that. You are given more gifts. But self-esteem is really what will take it forward. Like, having good self-esteem and belief in yourself is what will help you take it forward. Because the day you say that this is not the path, this is not my right path, I need to get on a new path, and everyone around you will tell you, are you crazy? Stop doing that. That's not going to get you anything. Just, stop that madness.
hmm,
Everyone told me this. When you said I switched to my profession, that was the most profound moment that I could just, it didn't make any difference to me. Earlier, it did a lot of difference. But when I came in alignment with my gifts and my superpowers and everything in alignment, it was like, you can say whatever you want, but I am not mad. I know I don't believe in myself that this is what the world needs. This is my gift, why I'm here.
right.
And that's what the takeaway should be for everyone, because the day you find out your real gifts and, wow, this is what I'm here for, and you start doing it, everything around you will say no. But if you believe in yourself, you will have all the power to go ahead and because of that synchronicity, people will show up in your life. Like, I've had so many celebrities I worked with without asking for it. It's because of synchronicity. So believe in yourself is what I would say to everyone here.
Right, right. Wow, that's a beautiful thing. And we'll wrap up here in a couple minutes. One of the last things that really came to my head as you're saying these things, most people don't give themselves credit for what their gifts are, or they haven't written them down. So the other day I wrote down, I'm an excellent interviewer. I am an eloquent speaker. I'm a gifted writer. I have a photographic or eidetic memory. Thank you, God. And then my true gift, this is what I believe my gift is, right in line with what your analysis is. I genuinely can connect with strangers within minutes because I show up with that love and empathy, no judgment, and gratitude. And so when I show up that way and someone starts talking, I'm like, how can I help them? How can I help them? That's playing in the back of my mind the whole time.
Yes.
Uh, so thank you so much for this beautiful conversation, for sharing your time and energy with me. Um, I have this great little sign here on the wall that says Namaste.
Yes.
Did I read that to you?
Absolutely. You did in the past, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. But I just wanted to say I see the divine in you. I consider you a friend. I want the best for you in life. And thank you so much for joining me on the True Life with Tom show. Is there anything that you wanted to share before we signed off?
This is great, Tom. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
All right, fantastic. Well, you enjoy your travels with your family and give your best to everybody, every one of them. Give them the love from Maryland, and we'll be in touch with each other soon, I'm sure.
Talk soon, Tom. Thank you so much, and bye bye, everyone. Think about it, your life purpose and your gifts. Take care.